Your name?
Yeah, Eugene Rushowi from Spence Road.
Yes.
The question is related to the fact that we own the property on the top of the hill.
Yes.
Have we done or will we do cost analysis between the lease and the property which we already own and the staging of the filtration plant build between the two options? I'm not saying that one is better than the other, except that I'm going to be paying for it.
I'm just so everybody's aware of the rule. I'm a landowner here as well.
Okay.
And I live in the community. I pay my taxes in the community, just like the rest of us do. And like from a financial perspective, it's a very easy decision to go with a piece of property that on the corner of I've talked about before. Musgrave and McLeod. I should break that down so I can look at it. The Musgrave thing is yeah. So anyways, like it's a minimum $750 or $500,000 to $750,000 to just get to be able to build the infrastructure to get to the plant up on the piece of property up by the highway. Not only if you look at the security issues and everything else that goes along with the location on the corner of Musgrave, well, thank you. Yeah. Anyways, it's just far better from a strategic perspective. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of time from a financial analysis perspective to be able to do it. And it's pardon me?
Sorry.
We will own it. We will own it, and as a landowner who wants my kids and grandchildren to grow up in this community, we will have, worst case scenario, we will have a long-term lease, a 20-year lease, with an option to extend as many times as we need to. So that land will be ours. Like, we're not going to enter into anything that our lawyer doesn't tell us that that's what the situation is going to be. So.
If I could ask a question, just following up on that. That was the only question I want to ask, is that I would just hope that it would not be the same lawyer that approved the previous water that was very flawed. You're going to use a different lawyer than was used at that time?
Oh, Bill, we haven't talked about a different lawyer at this time. I mean, Peter Johnson has been our lawyer, and all he does is supply an opinion. Right, so he supplies an opinion. That opinion is shared with the board, and then from there we make a decision from there. Go ahead, Suzanne.
Just to add, is it on? Okay. That it also depends on what questions you ask of the lawyer. So the question, is it legal? You might get yes.
Right.
Is it good for Union Bay? Might get no. It all depends on what questions are asked of the lawyer. And I think we're all aware of that, having learned from, or at least I hope we are, having learned from the real omissions in the previous agreement. So I, for one, am very cognizant of that, and I think the rest of the board is as well, that we will have some serious questions to ensure that Union Bay is protected. I will be doing that for sure.
Anybody else?
Tom.
Okay, I have a question. I'm having a little bit of problem kind of keeping this all together here. Here we have a piece of property, we bought it, right?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay, we bought it. School thing, are we talking about here? Anyways, we have a piece of property that we bought.
Yes.
Okay. We could build it on that, $1.5 million, and have our own plant. So now we've got our own piece of land. Just a minute, I had this all in order here before I, right. We have to put in our own plant, we have to pay for it. Okay?
Yes.
So we have to pay for that.
Yeah.
Kip gets to keep the $8,900 a year. He's giving you the money up front, but he's getting it all back. Okay?
Yes.
So there's no CET for the UBID. We do not get the CET for 50 properties. Okay? Which,
yeah,
by the way, is
depending.
$445,000.
Yeah, depending on the size of the development he starts with. 30, I believe,
Okay, well,
it says 30 to 50.
is from $270 to $445,000
Yes.
that UBID will not get. We still
Correct.
have to pay for our own plant. We
Yeah.
own a piece of property.
Yeah.
We can have this new one, leased piece of property. The only thing we're getting out of this is a free piece of property for our fire department?
Yes,
And how much is that land worth?
3 acres up in that area up there, I guess is anybody's guess, it's worth quite a bit of money.
It's all residential area.
So 3 acres.
And then 4 acres for the water,
But
or
is
4
it-
acres for our program.
Yeah, but we already own a piece of land, could
Yeah, but like we said earlier, I don't know if you heard it, but it's gonna cost at least $500,000 before we even start. Before we
Get
even
up there?
start.
There's no power up there.
There's no power,
There's no power.
upgrade.
Oh, there's no
Electricity.
problem. Okay, got it, okay. So, and this don't, we're paying $1 a year lease for 5 years?
No,
That's
It
on
says
the
right here, you
existing
guys
site.
said 5 years to complete and move to the new area.
no.
Well, 5
Here,
years.
I'll let,
Yeah, sorry.
I'll let information answer.
What that means is that we have 5 years to move
Yeah,
the existing plant.
that's what I said, 5 years. So basically, we have to lease that land for 5 years. Because it belongs, the land to move over.
Now, we're gonna lease that land for 20 years with long-term 20-year extensions. If
For $1 a
in the
year.
very worst scenario that we, no, if in the very worst scenario that we didn't get if Brian didn't get a subdivision through,
Yeah,
so we get 20 years lease for $1. Okay.
okay.
Then we get another 20-year lease after that, because we have option to approve. And then,
We can buy it for $1.
no, we can buy it for $1 when Brian gets his subdivision approval. Okay, we can buy it for $1.
Okay, and after that, if he doesn't get it, we have to keep.
No, we'll have a 20, to begin with, we'll have a 20-year lease. And then we'll have an option to approve for another 20 years. So that's 40 years, 40 years at least, okay? And like your point that you made earlier, why wouldn't we build up there? Well, I'm a landowner here, so if it's gonna cost us, we'll just use simple numbers, $150,000 for the plant, and then an extra, $500,000 to be able to get up there. That's $2 million. If we build on Brian's property, it saves the landowners here $500,000. So it gives us the option to do some of the things that this other gentleman talked about over here, which is maybe putting in a water tower. That serves the rest of the community a little bit better, right? So,
Lowell Johnson, Planning Bay. My curiosity is where are the actual estimates, black and white estimates from different construction companies, whoever, IBEW members or whatever, where are the estimates to have the electricity to that site up there, to plow the road up there? There's lots of construction companies on the island here that could possibly do this. I'm thinking of one of Hazelwood Construction. I showed Jack Whitaker the site, I showed him that there's a water pipe right there, and there's our property right there. He said, well, what's the big deal? I said, well, that's the big deal, it's electricity. And he said, well, what about this road? I said, well, motor grader, 20 minutes, job's done, Moose, pay it, and that's it. So where are the black and white estimates for all these high root toot and root snorting prices that you people have? Where are they?
Okay, we don't have an estimate for constructing the road. We did get the previous board got an estimate from BC Hydro, a partial estimate to run phase 3 or 3-phase power to the site up there. Now you have to remember, you have to go under a high voltage transmission line and a high pressure gas line. So the problems are huge. The initial estimate was $150,000 just to get started. We never went any further with getting an estimate on building the road and doing the grubbing and clearing and resurvey and everything, because at the time we felt that this was a much more attractive package, and I believe it is.
So, that's very, very fine. No, if my memory serves me correctly, and I will stand corrected on this, I think, is it Coors Engineering in Victoria? Was it Coors, whatever?
Coors, yeah, Parksville.
Did they not have a look at that land 20 years ago and told Brian this is a piece of property you should be buying for your water treatment plant?
I
Right,
don't know that, sir.
Yes, he did.
Answer that.
Yeah, well, that's 21 years ago, so that's what I was on the understanding.